Anna, thank you so much for rocking with A Nation of Sisters. It is truly an amazing journey, and I am enjoying this ride. Before I move on, I want to give a shout out again to all of our Fayetteville folks, Fayetteville State University, Methodist University, Fayetteville Technical Community College. Thank you so much. UNC Pembroke, thank you so much for rocking with us. Charlotte, you guys, I appreciate you so much. Oh, yes, and our folks up in Raleigh, North Carolina, man, they are truly supporting. And I don't even need to go across the state, but I will give a shout out to those in Winston-Salem and Greensboro who oftentimes get to see or listen to the repeat. And so we're super excited about that. But guys, we got to give a shout out to all our folks in Nigeria. They pull up on Facebook and they listen to the show. They point out things. They send DMs. They talk about it. And you know what? I just want to say a shout out to all of our Nigerian folks.
Awesome. That's incredible.
God has been so amazing to me and so amazing to this platform. Guys, we've got a great show today, and I say this every time we come on the air, but this one is going to be for the books. I am so excited. I've got I've got a lot of favorite people in the world, but here today I've got two of them in the room with me. They are in the studio today, and we are going to be talking some really, really serious issues today. Yeah, it's going to get serious, and it's going to get deep. But I want to caveat that everything that we say by no means is for you to say it is. It is for you to follow and go by. You have to make that your own decision, right? You make your own decision of how you move forward. But we can help guide, like, you know, it's kind of like a rear view mirror, or, you know, the side mirrors. They can see the points where we can't see while we're driving. So you got a little bit of coaching going on. But I'm going to stop right now because I want these ladies to introduce themselves, and then we're going to jump right into the conversation. So I'm going to start with my right, probably your left. If you'll introduce yourself and just give us a little tidbit about who you are and what you do.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Dr. Melanie Shorter. I'm a professor at Fayetteville State University teaching anatomy and physiology. I would say, was raised here since 8 years old, and I'm happy to be back in the city of Fayetteville. So many awesome things are going on, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. And Lord, look at this pretty woman over here with this pretty yellow on. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sis.
I thought I would just shine today. Thank you.
Just like the sun.
Just like the sun. Hey, good evening, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me once again. I really enjoy being with the WIDU family. And so my name is Dr. Erica Jones Whitaker, and I am by profession the Chief Executive Officer of Southeastern Community Action Partnership. We are one of about 38 community action agencies in the state of North Carolina. And there are approximately 1,000 community action agencies that are purposed to serve vulnerable populations and help them become self-sufficient in this economy, to help people realize that they matter no matter what their economic status is.
Yeah,
and so I enjoy being a servant in that field. I am also an adjunct professor at the University of North Carolina at Pembroke, and I heard you give them a shout out, so thank you.
For sure.
And I was once on full-time faculty, but I serve in an adjunct capacity for the School of Business. That's professionally. I am a mother, I am a wife, I am an advocate for the least of these, and that's me in a nutshell. That's me in a nutshell. I'm sure we'll add more later.
And we're going to add more, but listen, she just kind of gave me a perfect segue, because that's enough.
That's enough.
If you don't do nothing else, you've done enough.
That's enough.
Oh, and I love it. I love it. Guys, today we're going to talk about doing or becoming a better you. Doing things that make you better. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because we often, as women, whether we're women of color or not, but women of a certain age, right? We have times where we are just giving. And Tammy will tell you, I had said, listen, this is my year. I got to focus on me. These are certain things that I want to do. I'm going to get this accomplished. I'm going to get that accomplished. And I find myself reverting back to what I used to do. And that is, I'm going to kind of help myself out. But this person needs my help, and this person is pulling on me, and that person is pulling on me. So where I would give myself 100%, now I'm only giving myself maybe 45%. And the other 55%, I'm dividing it up to other people, right? And so I want to talk about that today. So what are your thoughts immediately that come? Some of the first things that come to your mind. Hey, Kennedy.
That's our gorgeous little model here. I think it's a large part of it is being a woman. Well, let me say this: a woman in today's age. I grew up with, 2-parent family. Both of my parents worked. My mother, worked her way up to having a doctorate degree, but my father was still head of household, and they balanced each other out. I can't say one did more than the other. They just kind of shifted the responsibilities. Now, a lot of us are single. We're single parents, and we have to work. So, and then there's still an expectation of us to be this woman, whatever that means. So you have to do these traditional tasks. And it's hard. It's hard to really think about yourself. And I do the same thing, Tammy. I'll say, my kids are getting older now. I'm just going to do this for me. And then, I might be good for 2 weeks. Some issue or problem will arise, and here I am on my white horse, just coming on in. I'm going to save the day. Until something happens, then some days I just wake up, I'm exhausted. And it's not like I've been working out or anything like that. It's like, why am I so tired? Or I hold stress like this, and I'll say, why is my neck hurting? Why is my shoulders hurting? Then I realized I might have been asleep, but I really wasn't resting.
And that's true. And that's a whole situation.
It's a whole situation.
But it's like we're on a hamster wheel, and we just we can't get off.
Can't get off of it.
No.
And it's so true. I mean, you make a huge point. At our job, we used to have a person that come in, and she would be like a little counselor or whatever, and she'd come in and say, why do you have shoulders for earrings? I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like,
oh, yeah.
She said, you're so tense, tight and tensed up. And she said, and this is basically, you don't see it, but at nighttime, your body is feeling it, that you've been like this the whole time. And like you said, you're asleep, but you're not resting.
Right.
And so I want to pivot just a bit. Erica, what does doing better for you actually look like in your life right now?
Right. So as I was listening to you all, your narrative about taking better care of yourselves, I was thinking about, you mentioned, you started at 100% and now you feel like you're down to 45%. I think sometimes what we do, we look at taking care of ourselves or being a better version of ourselves as this big picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we look at this, it's almost like setting New Year's goals. Right. You start off strong like the gym. I'm gonna tell you right now, like by the time March hits, the gym is empty, right? So you start out with all of these big major goals. But one of the things that my fitness and wellness mentor told me is create daily habits.
Yeah.
As opposed to this big thing that, you have an end goal. You have to be a visionary, but your daily habits is what gets you there. Being consistent with that one thing and then adding on to it, right? So
now, do you have to be intentional about it? Do you have to be it just can't happen?
Yes. Okay, so let me give you an example for myself. So one of the things that I started doing was setting my alarm for 12 noon.
Okay.
And I put in there, take a break. And so do I always achieve it? No, because I might be in the middle of a meeting that I just couldn't help it. But it's a daily reminder for myself that I need to step away, I need to pause, and my assistant don't put anything on my calendar. Small, right? But you have no idea how big that is. Another thing, for me, y'all know, you're on my social media pages. The first part of the day, I rise early, is for me. Because I know when my house arises, then, there's going to be a need or a want. And not just my house, professionally, too. So that's a daily habit.
Yeah.
Now, I slept in this morning, but it's a daily habit. So that's what I mean by that. We set these goals to be a better version of ourselves, but we keep putting ourselves off because we don't create daily habits.
That part
Does
right
that make
there.
sense?
Come on.
It makes a lot
Does
of
that
sense.
make sense? And so we talk about rest, but society has created this thing called grind culture.
Yes.
And I have this deck of cards. I went to a leadership retreat, and they are called the Nap Ministry Rest Deck. And they are daily affirmations. I meant to bring it, but I ran out of the house. But they are daily affirmations that talk about it's okay to rest. Rest does not always mean sleep.
Yes.
It means shutting it off. We all are professionals. We all have careers. We all are bosses in our careers. And I would even say, with our families, we have a heavy responsibility. But you've got to take the rest, stepping away. So create those daily habits. Think about what that is, whatever that is for you. It could be, if you're on a fitness program, that you need to drink water every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So backtrack your big overall vision and create those daily habits.
You say
It's a start.
something. Yeah, you oh man, you're hitting so many points. When I wake up, I try to start my day with devotion, right? But my mind immediately is just going. And it's just like that machine that you revving up. And I'm like, what in the world? I just woke up and I'm already, ready to go. And I'll tell you a true story. I was off maybe a day or two last week or week before last. I literally, Tammy, close your ears. I literally was sitting on my couch doing nothing, which is what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
But I felt guilty.
Yep.
I felt so
That
guilty.
happens.
I said, I don't feel right. I need to be up doing something. I should be doing something. I shouldn't be sitting here. I need to be doing something.
I know.
Well, thinking about that, one word came to my mind: sobriety. With a way you can build a better self. And so we hear the word sobriety, we automatically think alcohol, drug addiction, something like that. But that's not necessarily it.
Yeah.
So I like to get to a Bible reference. So I was looking it up. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8 says, "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour."
That's right.
And so when I started on this journey to build a better self, it's like I had to wake up, right? Because you don't have to be drunk off of alcohol. You could be drunk off of life, or
You
just
can be,
drunk off of passion.
work. I'm telling you.
And I was telling Tammy, sometimes I call it arrogance. We think, y'all need me. I'm a good person. My kids need me. They need me to tell them they should do this, they shouldn't do that. I got to tell them all this because in case something happens to me, they got to know it today. So we feel like somebody's always needing us, but sometimes we're just giving unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
But I got, was talking to a therapist.
Unsolicited advice.
And I started becoming what I call sober.
Did nobody ask you for that?
Nobody asked you for that. And so when
But here you go.
I sobered up, I started thinking,
That's
no,
good.
pay attention to
That's so
yourself.
good.
Like, you are using other people as a distraction, because we will, just like people do use drugs and alcohol and things like that as a distraction. Sometimes we will use people pleasing and building other people up. Because that takes away. Well, I couldn't go to the gym this morning because I had to do this for Eric.
That's right.
You know what
Come
I'm
on.
saying? And so now I've had to. I still work at it daily, and I'll talk to my sister and say, you know what? Like, I will vent with her and then say, you know what? I'm still a work in progress. I'm getting better, but I'm still a work in process. Let me focus on myself. The girls are good. They're going to be okay.
That's right.
You're good. You're going to be okay. You know what? I told my students A, B, C, and D. I've given them instructions. It's in the syllabus. I've taught them. You know what? The chips got to fall where they may.
That's right.
Because I have to focus on me, because I'm still consider myself to be relatively young, and there's things I need to do, but it just came a point where I had to like sober up, and that was sobering from the grieving of my parents, you know, then, you know, a divorce, and then COVID, and then, you know, the girls are getting older and leaving the nest, which I love, because I love to see growth and development, but still, you know, looking back at my life, and it's not exactly where I had planned it. It's not a bad life. It's just not where I planned it. And so I've had to tell myself, rest. It is okay to just sit here. I call it looking silly. I call it brainless activity. I don't even want to watch anything where I have to really think about the plot.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah, I don't even have to think about the plot.
I know. And even here's one for you, Mel. Even I will sit in the car in the garage, and I know a lot of listeners can relate that I will just sit in the car in the garage for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, just that's my period of rest. Like, I'm just sitting here, and my husband will come out, what are you? And I'm just sitting here. I'm just resting. I'm just, you know, just chilling out, you know. And you are so right, because I am guilty of that, of, you know, as leaders, you know, we are so used to solving the problem, right? So my daughter, who is in this room, you all just can't see her, but same thing with her. She is at that age now. She's like, Mom, I got it. You don't have to do it. I'm like, do you need my help? You know, she was doing some homework last night. You need me to help you? No, Mom, I got it. And I just have to step back.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're raising our daughters, we're raising our sons to be independent. And I always say that, even in my home with my daughter or in my profession, you know, you raise eagles to soar, not to clip their wings.
Right.
And so we need to be, if you will, delivered from that. I do believe that we prioritize everyone else and not ourselves. And that's why I say I learned that lesson really well by starting, or I should say, I've learned that lesson, and I'm still learning that lesson by starting the beginning of my day with me, and just still learning to just let some things go, and realizing that, you know, I can't do it all,
Right.
and being okay with it. But I know that feeling when you're at home and you're getting antsy, like, ooh, I just need to do something.
I need to do
something. I
something.
need to get up and do something. I know that feeling.
And it's crazy because a lot of times, so you hit a point about the single part. So I have been single now forever, right? I've never been married. So that means I've always did everything. I've always taken care of my household. I've always taken care of the finances of my house. I'm used to doing everything. And so if it does come to a situation where I'm able to give that away, would I be able to give it away? And if I did give it away, guilt starts to come in, like,
I would.
You should have took care of that. Like, you should have took care of that. You should have did it. And I'm like, dang it, I should have did it.
I can't say that necessarily changes because you're married, because, you know, even if you have someone that says, look, you don't have to worry about this, or you don't have to worry about that, I'll take care of this, I'll take care of that. I personally don't feel like marriage changes that. I feel like, you know, I believe that you are, you know, you're an independent thinker. You, like you said, you're used to managing your household and all of that. But you certainly have to figure out in a relationship, a common denominator, and marrying someone that understands and accepts you for who you are coming into the marriage. That makes a big difference. When I got married, I was in the process. I was about to take my comps for my doctorate, for my doctoral program. I was about to take my comps. And, you know, and my husband knows this, he's probably listening. But when we met, I said, look, you know, I got to study. You know what I mean? So I have to hold off. It took us 3 months before we even went out on a date because I was studying.
Really?
Yes. But he understood that.
Okay,
He totally
hold
understood
that
that.
thought right there, because there is something that I'm dealing with now that
Uh-oh.
I keep saying,
Is this a relationship?
it's
Tammy, or what
just
do you-
like, it's always something. And I'm thinking to myself, Tammy, if you just don't leap or take a leap of faith
Oh.
and go out there and just go ahead and do it, there's always going to be something.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something. I mean, all you got to do is
And I
look
keep
back over your
stopping it.
life. Just look back. Just look. I always say, just look back. There's always going to be something. Always.
It's always going to be something.
There's always going to be something. So, you know, even when you get married, Tammy, there's always going to be something. Even when you're single. I was talking to someone, a good friend who is also married, and we were just having a dialogue about, you know, enjoying your singleness. You've been in both positions, so really enjoying, you know, where you are as a single person, and then when you do get to that place, just let it work itself out. Don't worry about all that, because when you get married, and if you're equally yoked and that person truly understands who you are, you're not going to have to worry about that. You're not. You're just not going to have to worry about that. You'll have things to worry about, but you know, you have the opportunity to know whether or not that person will accept that you are the person that you are. You are a leader. You are handling this. You are handling that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have to worry about. That's how I feel. I don't know about you, Mel. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think so I always say this, people, Melanie, how you doing? I've been minding my own business.
Mind your
So if
and
I
drinking
mind
your
my own
water.
business-
And drinking
And
your
drinking your
water.
water.
Drinking your
Come
water.
on,
Mind
come
your
on.
business.
If I mind my own business and I'm focused on what Melanie's doing,
Right.
and what I need to get done, then I feel like I am building a better self, right?
Correct.
So if I, you know, go after my goals, try to be as successful as I can be, or like the things that I say, Melanie, this is what I would like to see in my life. If I stay focused on that and just open myself up to different experiences or
That's right.
whatever, then my match will find me. We'll be attracted to each other, and then I don't think you will have to worry so much about the tussle of, because then that person will know and they will see you as a leader, a boss, or hey, she's independent, she's got this together.
That's right.
And then they'll say, okay, but I do see this part that I can add to her life and enhance it, instead of you saying, okay, let's just say I want this guy, and well, let me stop doing some of the stuff I do because I don't
Dumb
want him to
down.
think-
Let me dumb
me
down
down.
who I am.
Yeah. Why would you do that? That's my question.
I'm telling you, it's a real situation.
It is a
And
real
we do
situation.
that with friends sometimes.
We
too.
do it
We
with friends.
do.
It's not
Yes.
just
Yeah.
relationships in that vein, but I have gotten to the point that I just don't. I don't dummy myself down because I've worked too hard to get here.
Come on.
I worked too hard, and my friends that I'm still good friends with, that knew me when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, you know, they see the glow up. You know what I mean? And I'm okay. I'm good with saying that about myself. So I worked too hard. I've made too many sacrifices. I've had what people will call losses. There were times where I didn't know what I was going to eat and where I was going to stay, where I was going to live. So
I've been there.
why would
Yeah.
I dummy myself down for
Yeah.
a friend, a coworker, you got to come up. So that's my point, that you will know, because when you meet that person, and I don't even know how we got here.
I was
but
just
when
gonna say,
I tell
but
you, we
God
went all
knows,
up,
God
but
knows.
He knows.
Go
He
ahead.
knows. Go ahead. But whenever you will know. You will know whether or not someone wants you to dummy down, and that's friendships, like you said too.
And
or
friendships
not.
too.
Yeah.
It-
I just don't.
It's amazing. So on my journey after I first got separated, in my head, you know, because I was the one who kind of called it, because I'm like, this is not good for me any longer.
Yeah.
It was easy at first to point out what the other person did or didn't do. But the type of person I am, and I don't know if people know this about me, I'm analytical. So like kind of daily, but definitely weekly, I take an analysis of myself. What could I have done better? Was it a good week or whatever? Then I started saying, you know what, Melanie? I'm not sure it was on him. He's who he always was.
Consistently.
It was me. I changed. I don't want to say dumbing myself down. I made personal sacrifices of my goals, my morals, my standards, my ethics to fit in a person's life, because at the time I was struggling with a board exam to get out of dental school.
Yeah.
And I just wanted, you want something good to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted a victory. And, it was like, he was really nice and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah. And my parents said, but Melanie, I know you. I know how we raised you. My dad always said, I raised you guys to be high maintenance. And I don't apologize for it at all. You deserve the best. And he said,
absolutely.
This person's not going to be able to take care of you the way you're used to it. No, but I love. And so after a while, I said, you know what, let me start. This is part of my sobriety.
Yeah.
Let me start taking accountability for myself and my actions. And actually, during the process of divorce, I said, you know what, let me apologize. I made a mistake. It is me. I made a mistake. It's nothing really, no disrespect to you. I just didn't make the choice that was for me. I know that these are some things I wanted to do. This is how I was raised. These are things that I like. Organizations I really enjoy. I don't attach to organizations just to have it. Like, I enjoy the service and the friendship. But this person may not want to do that.
That's right.
And so, but I found myself saying, yeah, I like this, but no, I can live without this and that.
Right.
But once I started taking accountability for my actions, talk about a glow up. I mean, I just started to blossom. And then
Wonderful.
It's like little things that I always wanted to do or saw myself doing started to fall into place, right?
Awesome.
And it's still a journey, because then there's so many other emotions attached to that, especially after coming off of the deaths of your parents, grieving your new normal, and then saying, well, who am I? Because I was married for like 16, 17 years. Who am I now? Like, who is Melanie? Like, because then I was just Melanie. Now, okay, well, I'm Dr. Shorter. And then now I'm working at Fayetteville State, and these other people rely on me. And then these girls, and my dad kept saying, my nickname is Meppy. And so I said, Meppy, you got to give those girls everything you had and a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And close to when he passed away, he kept saying, they need to go to private school. I'm sorry. Because a lot of stuff was happening in the schools. And I said, Dad, I don't have this money. How am I going to get it? Lo and behold, things just started to pan out. And each month, each year that goes by, I grow and I grow. And my emotional intelligence has had to grow. And I'm not even afraid to say that. I mean, I've done some immature things. I didn't know. I mean, even at 52 years old, I'm still growing. And so once I took accountability for my actions, I feel like I'm on a good trajectory to building a better self.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy. I have my sad days and where I still take on the burdens of other people, because I am a natural empath. But one of the things I work on now is saying, oh, man, let me pray for them. And I'll stop and actually pray. And I'll say, but that's not my journey. Because I'll start taking on, oh, man, this person got a diagnosis. Oh, this person lost somebody. Because Farrah's friend, he calls me mom. He's a student at Fayetteville State. Love this guy. His mother passed away Saturday night. And so Farrah comes in my room, says, Mom, guess what? My brother lost his mom. And I started crying. She was crying, I'm crying. So immediately, and I know him, and I knew his mother, was ill. But it was totally unexpected. But I needed to say, okay, Farrah, tell him I can help him plan this and that. I don't know, he could have 15 aunts and uncles. I don't know. But for some reason, I felt like at that moment,
help,
I needed
like you
to
were the
go in
person.
here and
Yeah.
So I'm texting myself, hey, son, if you need me for A, B, C, and D, I'll do it. I had to step back the next day. And he responded and stuff. He's like, okay, Mom, if I need some help, I'll let you know. And me and Farrah going back and forth, like, did he answer? Like, is he okay? why was I up in this business like that?
Just pouring into
Isn't
your
that-
cup, just pouring
Yeah.
something.
I mean,
and God's
yeah.
like, that wasn't supposed to be in your cup. You putting that in your cup.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I could be a support system, but see, I naturally jumped head first into this. Now in my head, and I went to bed that night thinking, well, I'm gonna tell them these are a couple funeral homes that I might suggest.
You were positioning yourself to help, and nobody and somebody may have already been doing that. I think it's interesting because you always hear the concept of the power of no. Like that's part of building the
Yeah.
best version of you.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to learn how to tell people no. But we need to learn how to tell ourselves no.
Yes.
Come on.
That's the thing. We need to learn how to tell ourselves no because it's not always somebody else asking us. We leap forward and launch at helping people,
At helping
just
people
naturally. And I think that's one of the best tools. We have to tell ourselves no. Like, nope, I'm not doing it. Truly setting up those boundaries.
Hard.
Hard
line no.
Hard line no. And a lot of times it could be with family.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what
That's
I mean?
that's the majority of the time.
That's the majority of the time. Like, no, I can't do it. Or sometimes my phone will ring, and sometimes I'll just have to say, my family might bring me my phone. Like, I don't want to answer right now. This is my quiet time, or I'm trying to do something else. Let it go to voicemail because if it's urgent, I promise you, they're probably going to call one of y'all. If it's something really
Right.
urgent. So, just allowing yourself that space to tell yourself no. I'm still working on that too. Like you said, Melanie, you're a work in progress. I am so a work in progress.
Yeah, and I think
we all are.
it's okay
We all
to
are.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
should not feel guilty about saying that, and even like.
And that's where I was going to go with
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
Where is the guilt? Why do we feel guilty? Everything you just said is so spot on. But when we start to actually manifest what you just said, guilt immediately falls in. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did
Yeah.
that. I really need to help.
Is it
Yeah.
fear?
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's fear. I think it's just something that has been ingrained in us to, like you were just saying, to always help people. And oftentimes when we do that, if you're always helping people or being the solution all the time, people are arbitrarily, they're always going to come to you, right? So
Yes.
that's just it, because we've been accustomed to, or it's just been ingrained in us to always be the problem solver or be the one to fund the situation,
Yeah.
provide the resources, or jump in our car and do. But I can promise you that when you step back, when you start stepping back a little, people will see that. And you will truly begin to see what people's posture and position was in the first place in your life. Or someone will say, well, you've changed.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep. You're right.
You're
I have.
right. I have.
Now I'm just saying,
But
thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you for
Great.
pointing that
I'm
out.
a better version
Yeah,
of me.
'cause I'm a better version
I'm
now.
a better version of me. And so do I sometimes still feel guilty because I don't do what I used to do all the time, or I can't do? Yeah. But what I've realized, particularly when it pertains to other people, is that they figure it out. They figure it out. When you step back, they will figure it out because they have this need, and they'll figure it out. Yeah.
I have a friend who, I'm not going to say her name, but I have a friend, and there was a situation going on, and she said, I just can't take it no more. This, he's just doing this and he's doing that. And the more she kept saying it, the more I'm getting riled up and ready to help her out and try to figure this thing out. I said, you know what? I'm going to pray,
That's
but
right.
I need you to do this and da-da-da-da-da.
That's right.
So the whole weekend, I'm going through that. And
Yep.
it's all in my system. You want to know what helped me? Sunday, when I had got out of church, I went on Facebook and I saw her at the beach with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
sitting home going pure crazy, heartburn, stomach upset.
About her situation.
But her situation.
Yeah. No.
So
I
when do
get
you
it.
know How do you? And there's so many. Lord knows there's so many young girls. There are college girls listening now. They're whoever they're listening now. Women are listening now. How do you know when you have poured all you can pour? Because I was intentional with who came today, and you are pourers, right?
That's right.
You really are.
Yep.
And at some point, you need to be poured into.
Absolutely.
How do you know? What point do you get to say, listen, enough is enough. I cannot give any more. I need somebody to give something to me and be okay with that. Because I'm going to tell you, it happened to me and pride stepped in. I said, I don't need you to pour into me. I got it. And I paid for it. I paid for it.
Yeah.
A lot of sleepless nights, waking up, I'm sick on the stomach, still trying to move forward and trying to do what I wanted to do, just trying to do it. Instead of me saying, Tammy, stop. Let that pride go. You are not the top of the mountain. You are not God. You are not your own God. It is okay to get help.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be transparent without telling everything.
Right.
I would say, maybe I'll just say for the past 2 years, God has put me in these positions where I'm literally like walking on a tightrope. I could fall this way, I could fall that way. I'm like, okay, I don't have no help. Okay. And usually, because my sister and I are very close, if I don't have something, she has it, vice versa. But now we're kind of both at this thing where we're both walking on a tightrope. No reserves. So then I said, you know what? Everybody keeps saying, Melanie, if you need help, just ask me. Because I would say, hey, I had to go pack up my car and Fallon Fair's car and help them move into the apartment. Hey, you could have just told me and you could have used my truck. So one day I said, you know what, Melanie, take the pride away.
That's right.
Ask. So now, this is the sad part. Now, I have asked a few people, because it was especially hard for me to ask men, because I was constantly getting disappointed.
Right. Got it.
So, hey, brother, look, I really need this. I need help with this. And, I need it within this time frame. Because if not, then I know I'm just going to do it myself. All right, well, call me or remind me later, or hey, I'll call you back in an hour. Time would go by, nobody would call. So I was like, oh my goodness. Now, had it been the opposite way, I would have been right there. I would have stopped what I'm doing. Hey, I got to do this and that because I got to be here for this person. But when I realized I wasn't getting rescued, like nobody was helping me. Now, like I said, my sister, that's different. Then I said, you know what? Forget it. You better hold some of this water for yourself. Save yourself. So Leah and I tell each other now, save yourself. And then it had to be that way with my girls because I've poured a lot into them. And I do not regret it because, with them, I can see the fruits of my labor.
Absolutely.
But, and I tell people, even the car that I had bought Fallon for her 18th birthday, it was overcompensating because I'm a single parent and I'm really honestly the only one that does for them. And I'm doing this hoping that other people will see Melanie, because there are people who say, Melanie, you're a great mom and you do all this, but nobody's like, hey, Melanie, you want to go to lunch? Or Melanie just said that she had to pay this tuition or she had to do A, B, C, and D. Like, let me just think about her, right? Whereas if I hardly have any money, I'm like, man, let me just, it might be your secretary or maybe a housekeeper, somebody, let me just give her $5 or like, oh, I found this gift card, let me give it to this person because I'd rather give my last to these people. So after a while I said, you know what, let me save myself. Let me mind my business, drink my water, and save myself. Because there's no one that's just going to do that. It was a painful lesson.
Yeah, because I had to learn it myself.
It was a painful lesson because I was the person on the group text. Good morning, Queens. Good morning, family. Just want to send you some love today. Just let you know I'm thinking of you. Then I realized it wasn't being reciprocated, so I just stopped.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Ain't
Yeah.
heard nothing since then. So that's when I said, you know what? Pause. It's not them. It is you.
Yeah.
You're the clown. You keep showing up to the doggone circus. So then I just stopped showing up for the circus. And what I've gotten used to doing, most time people see me, I am by myself. And I love like hanging out with females and stuff, but I'm not going to say, hey, go down this list of people to try to go to dinner with or whatever, because I end up giving my all to them, where I could have just gone out by myself and had a nice meal, talked to myself, answered back, just had a good time. I'm not jaded. I don't feel like, life is really, really bad. But if you're poor and you're constantly doing it, one day you're going to need your cup filled. Like it's not going to be an option. Like you're going to need it. And then you'll look around. And so what's happening is those people are just fading out.
Yeah.
Which makes room for those that really see you, they hear you, they feel you to, come in. And so little by little, it's restoring my faith, I would say, in people. But I don't rely on other people to save me. I just save some for myself. So
I think you answered it. You answered it right there, because often we're always waiting for people to reciprocate what we give. And that was my lesson there. One of my cousins that lives in Texas, we talk about that all the time because we are naturally givers. Our parents were givers. I think about my dad, may he rest in peace. He was always a giver. My mom, same thing, always giving. And so we were naturally raised that way. But I had to really understand that I'm not always going to see myself in everyone else, nor do I want to. Right? So my motto with my students, and I even tell my daughter this, if you are the smartest, strongest, most giving person in your group of friends, find you some more friends. And even the conversation that I had today with my dear friend, we were talking about finding your group, your girlfriend group or your friend group, and a group that you can trust, right? Because you can pour into your own cup. We talked about that in the beginning, didn't we? You can pour into your own cup. There is a difference when somebody's pouring into you. But again, I think that sometimes we look at that as this big level picture.
Yeah.
That someone bought you this big gift or took you out to this dinner or took you on this grandiose vacation. But what about the girlfriend that poured into you on social media and said, girl, you look amazing.
Yeah.
Or, girl, hey, what are you doing for lunch or dinner today? Come by my house, for a little bit. Or, we're always looking for this big grandiose and we don't pause to take notice of the small things. And then the other thing is, you don't even realize sometimes the network of people that you have around you, that if you would let go of that pride, and again, that trust group, that if you contacted them, I have no doubt in my mind that if one of you called me and said, look, I need you to go by and check on my babies. The key is X, Y, and Z. They probably wouldn't let me in because I know who your babies are. Or Tammy. Or, hey, my daughter needs a ride to Greensboro on Tuesday. I don't have anybody to take her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're always looking at individuals that, you talk about your sister, but I know that's probably a challenge for her. Maybe she can't do that sometimes because she lives away.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? So I have discovered that I have this group of people in my life that see me as this beautiful soul, this beautiful person, this person that is truly, even with all her flaws and imperfections, and I've had to ask for grace and forgiveness from some friends before, because I was just having a bad day and I may have said something to the left, right? But they know my heart and they know who I am. And I have no doubt in my mind, and my mom says this to me all the time, you have a wonderful circle of people around you that if you ever got sick or something was happening with your family, I have no doubt in my mind that they will be at this door. And so I think we forget that. And again, look at the little things, your students, your family here at WIDU that do pour into you, but you got to realize that all pours are not oceans.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they're drips.
The drips.
Yeah.
And those drips
come on.
add up to a full
Yes.
glass.
Yeah.
And those drips add up to a full body of water. You got to look at it that way, I think.
Yeah, a student.
But
that
I
gave
know
me
what you
fresh
mean.
eggs, and that was
Yeah.
like.
That was
Awesome.
everything.
Give
I was
me some
like,
fresh
oh my
eggs.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, even being invited here, this is
Absolutely.
pouring into me.
This is a pour.
This is a pour.
This is a pour. It is.
And I put that on Facebook and I said, I always consider it an honor to be asked because you could ask a lot of people
Yeah.
to be here. You know what I mean? You could ask a lot of people to join you at a dinner table. But you get asked. You get asked to speak all the time at different things. I have 2 people waiting on me to respond to them about speaking. One is in Phoenix, Arizona, and one is, I guess it's some sort of podcast, and I need to respond. But you have to consider those things honors and really
Yeah.
how people
Right.
are. You are a reflection of how people are responding
For
to
sure.
you. So, and then just pour into yourself every now and again, Mel. I heard you say it. You need to pour into yourself.
For sure.
And I'm learning that too. Still learning that.
And I think we've said so much today, and to become a better you, being a better you, I've got to live my life so that I am a better person for me first. I think that is so important. We need to understand that we need to become a better person for us first, and then everybody else
Yeah.
can get the benefit from me being a better Tammy.
You know who said it best? And the song came on the way here. Peace by P.J. Morton.
Yes.
If
Sing
you
it,
look
Mel.
at the,
Sing it.
Sing it.
Ooh, y'all don't want to hear me
Sing
sing.
it. Sing it.
Now, Erica, now you done got me messed up. There was a part. Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, I have it on my notes. One thing he says, gotta be all about me before I'm all about you. If I don't take care of me, I'm no good to you. I can't sacrifice my feelings no more. Gotta be careful who I let through that door.
Yep.
Oh, that is so true.
And I was listening to
Yeah.
it on the way, and I said, that's why I pulled the lyrics up. I said, you know what? If you ask me something, I'm gonna bring
You're gonna bring it
that
up.
up because my ears just perked up, and I've listened to this song several times before. Because sometimes we just kind of hum a tune, but if you really, really look at all these words, because it said, if you trying to take away my peace, I'm done. If you trying to take away my energy,
Yeah.
I'm done. And it's very hard, but it's definitely getting easier for me because the older I get, like I want my life to be fruitful. I want it to be happy because every day there's something different and kind of like we're dodging bullets, so to speak. So I want to be a happy person and to make big impact, but I'm telling myself that's why I don't really let a lot of people in my house. Because
I
it's
don't
my
either.
place of refuge. That's
Yeah.
where I recharge.
That's my one place.
My one place.
And no, I don't let just everybody in my house, and you shouldn't. I mean, because people be carrying spirits and stuff, and I just can't have that in my house.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, guys, it is already 6:00.
No way.
It is already 6:00. So we've definitely got to do a part 2 to this.
Okay.
I'm
can
going
do
to
it.
going to officially ask y'all to come back. But I just want everybody that's listening, and we're going to have final words before we go out. But I want everybody listening to understand that it's okay to say no. It's okay to understand that while you are getting yourself better, it's okay for 300 people not to have access to you. It is okay. Just keep telling yourself it's
That's right.
okay.
It's okay.
It's okay to say no. Because I need to get myself in a better place. And and you don't even have to be in a bad place, but there is always a better place. You're always striving for better, and there is a better opportunity. And so it's okay to say no. My young girls that are listening right now, please understand that you are more than enough. And if you say, I need to take a break, it's okay. I encourage you to take a break. I encourage you to find that mentor, that person that you can go to and talk to and just be open and be naked with and let them help you out. It's okay to take that time out that you need. It's okay to understand who you are and whose you are.
Absolutely.
It's okay. Now, with that said, I want you guys to know that there are all age groups listening right now. There are all different facets listening. There are all different races and nationalities listening right now, and we'll be listening for the weeks to come. What would you say to these young women, these young girls who are listening now? What if you wanted them to know one thing or two things or three things, what would it be?
Definitely to love yourself first, and that's every part of you, your size, your skin color, hair, all that stuff. Love every part of yourself, and be okay with saying access denied. That's my best advice.
I love it. I love it.
So I heard you say we have all races, cultures that are listening to this call, but I just want to share an affirmation that my daughter and I say every morning. She is a Black girl. So we say, stay beautifully Black, stay true to yourself, and be an advocate for yourself and others. So we say that every morning before she leaves the car. So you insert what you need to insert there with that affirmation, but
Yeah.
you gotta speak those affirmations to yourself
You got to.
and for our moms out there and to your children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's
sure. And I like how you put that, the moms too. I know there's going to be a lot of moms, but the young girls that are listening now, let your mom listen to this too, because both of these women are not just bosses in their own rights, but they are mothers, and they are phenomenal mothers. I've met their daughters. One of the daughters are in here right now. She is phenomenal, phenomenal young woman, and I just can't wait to see where she's going to go to, because I know God has greatness in store for her, and
yes.
every place that she walks, she is walking in greatness. God says that
Receive that.
He carefully watches over his words to perform it, and so all he's doing is just simply waiting for her to walk on those words, and they will
Yes.
manifest for her. In
Thank you,
Jesus'
sis.
name.
In Jesus'
Guys,
name.
thank you so much for coming
you.
today. We will have a part 2. I love y'all, and there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. Until next time, may God be with you and heaven smile upon you.